You know what the other two scenarios are. They're not.
Apparently you do not like them, so I would suggest that you do be more forthcoming.
I will take that in the spirit that's intended, and that hopefully, and what I've already expressed to you is that we do want to be more accessible and open, and we're making that effort to do that. I think personally, this is my personal opinion, it's in the best interest of the City of Covington and the Housing Authority of Covington that we qualify for moving to work. I know all of you have spent some time up in City Heights. If anything can bring you to tears, it's going up there and seeing how people in our city have to deal with the issues up there, and then being on a board and having to say, we don't have the money to make it better. We're band-aiding it up there.
This may sound strange, but I don't think the commission is opposed necessarily to move to work. It's just the whole way that this went around, and blindsided us.
Exactly.
In terms of the other thing I'd say about going to the Chamber of Commerce,
And I'm on their board, by the way. I've been to every DC fly-in for I can't tell you how long. To think you could go there and I wouldn't find out, it's just amazing.
well, Commissioner, I appreciate your frustration with that. And what I'd have to tell you is that we didn't on purpose try to hide it. It's hard to hide anything when you go to a fly-in in Washington, D.C., as you're well aware. So I think what our board, our staff tends to think entrepreneurially.
And
And
just so you know, I 86'd it. It will not be on the agenda up there unless we change our minds by next Tuesday.
Okay, well, thank you for letting us know that. The reason why our staff felt that we needed, even though the consortium arrangement wasn't settled, my understanding is the reason why our staff felt it was very important to at least let people know we were interested in this is that when you apply for grants from Washington, D.C., when you get into the political mix of trying to move up on the agenda of being seen as a potential candidate for federal monies, you need to let people know as early as possible. Jacob Price did not occur overnight. It took almost 10 years of work to position ourselves to get that Hope 6. And many of you in the community may remember that getting that Hope 6 was not a guarantee. Our staff worked exceptionally hard, hired extremely good and talented consultants to help position us to get that Hope 6. It wasn't a guarantee. So if we've offended anybody by this strategy of at least letting Washington know that we're interested in moving to work, that we have an interest in that, we apologize. But our intent was not to be malicious, but instead to try to at least let people in Washington know that the City of Covington exists, it has needs, and one of those is that we would like, in the best of all worlds, to be considered for moving to work. And so that's the other side of the coin about why our staff went to the Chamber of Commerce.
But JT, here's where the frustration has come from, and that is you want to have your ducks in a row. There is nothing worse than to go to Washington, D.C. and say you want their assistance in a program and you don't have a unified front at home.
Yes, absolutely. And in fact,
And that's what Commissioner Frank and frankly,
right.
the rest of us all feel the same frustration.
And I will be
if I may.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, what I believe the step that needs to take place for Covington is that the City Commission, and I've mentioned this to them, we need to develop a housing program, what our goals are. And then once the City Commission develops that program, then we'll know what the different components are that will help achieve the goals of that program.
As you know, I'm trained as a planner so I can appreciate taking the longer view. I also work in economic development, and you do too, and you know sometimes opportunities present themselves and you have to be ready to take advantage of them when they're there. And so I would hope that the Covington Board of Commissioners would give us the benefit of the doubt. If we're trying to communicate with you, if we're trying to be as transparent as possible, if we are communicating with you on a regular basis about what our goals and objectives are, how they're tied in with the City of Covington's goals and objectives, I would hope that in the event that we take advantage of an opportunity that makes itself available to us in a moment, and then we come and tell you afterwards that you appreciate the fact that we did that because not because we were trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes, but that we saw an opportunity we needed to take advantage of. There needs to be more trust. Obviously, the